Bring in Kit Kiyamoto. He's a structural engineer and the CEO of Miyamoto International, a structural engineering and disaster risk reduction firm. Kit, the question everyone is asking is, how does something like this happen? A building just crumbling down here in the United States. Do you have any theories as to what could have gone so horribly wrong? And I know it's a tough question and it's only been 2 days.
Correct. Just looking through the videos, you know how actually the building just imploded into it. It's actually the classic failure mode. This is something I see often in an earthquake disaster area. Essentially, we call columns, essentially the pillars supporting the floor after floor, right? And those pillars or columns which is spaced about 10 meters each way. If one of get compromised, everything essentially just pancake down to the top, to the bottom essentially. That's a failure mode, and that's a really classic one. So somewhere in the lower floors, either ground floor or basement or the maybe second floor, that column or pillar got compromised.
Well, but Kit, how does a pillar get compromised? I mean, I realize this building was 40 years old, but all the buildings in that general area are about that old.
Well, there are potentially 3 reasons I can think about it right now. Number one is a corrosion. Corrosion means essentially that there's a reinforcement or steel inside of a column, a pillar, made of concrete, right? And if there any kind of a sea salt or the ocean air penetrates through to that, and it will cause a rust. And when the rust, it's reduced the area of a steel, so get weaker. And also the rust expands, so that will compromise, crack the concrete around it. So it reduces the capacity of those columns. Think about this column supporting the 12-story on top of it. It's a huge loading. So any kind of a so-called reduction in capacity, that will crumble in that. So that's potentially one, yeah.
So are there any warning signs? I mean, for people who live in these high-rises, 12-story buildings, any noise or creak, any sound we hear, I mean, I'm trying to figure out if there's any way to know something like this is going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, the second reason is a potential difference of settlements. You know, that could cause the compromised columns too. But anyway, these type of failures, you can kind of see that visually. You can see the cracks. You can see cracks in the walls. You can see certain things to make such failures. Other potential option or possibility is actually column get compromised by the truck hitting it, stuff like that. It's highly unlikely, but that would be a potential cause of that. So something happened to those pillars, or one pillar, that really causes the progressive collapse.
So, Kit, how stable is the building that is still standing? And what about all the piles of concrete, wires dangling from the side? How safe is it for this rescue team who's going in there and picking the pieces one by one? How much danger are they in?
Oh, it's an extremely dangerous condition. And I was actually helping back in 2017, the Mexico earthquake and collapsed building site. And essentially that structural engineer attached to the urban search and rescue team to basically guide through the risk and danger and how to provide the extra safety, so therefore reduce the risk of to the rescuer, personnel. But they are definitely taking a huge risk out there to get the people out. But there's a hope though. Building may have pancaked, but in many cases you see the air gaps because of concrete debris and stuff like that exist. So people will trap. And I see it many times, days after, even sometimes 2 weeks after, you could find a person there, people there, survivors there. Well, so that's actually really critical.
Let's keep hope alive. Kit Miyamoto,
That's right.
Thank you very much.